In 2019, a game called Concept. No. Connect. Nope, that's not it. Contain. Conduit. Honest to God, I can't remember its name. I know it starts with C, and there's an ON in there. Okay, fuck it. What? Generic title number 5 is a game by... Oh, it's Control! That's its name. It's Control. Someone needs to be forcibly ejected from the marketing team for coming up with such a shitty title. Control is a game that released in 2019 on the Epic Games Store and will be releasing to Steam in 2025. Jokes. I wish I was joking. Control is a very, very nice looking game. It's a reality warping mindfuck akin to Salvador Dali's The Persistence of Memory or Edvard Munch's The Scream. Now, spoilers for the rest of this video, so if I see in the comments spoilers, I'll be upset, okay? I'm not gonna lie, I'll be pretty upset. The late game environments featured in Control are truly creative and interesting. The way space and colour is warped. From the Ash Maze, which is a particular highlight, to the containment sector. They flip gameplay on its head. It's very surrealist, like a piece of art. But I feel like I wanted to see more of this. Much of the time, bending reality is equivalent to making environments into squares. And more squares. And more squares. Squares. Sponsored by Squarespace. What is 1,000 squared? Is Control's environments. I need to put a little disclaimer, I am not sponsored by Squarespace. And the graphics. Oh, it's so pretty. But what is a game without its gameplay? Well, it's a movie. Or it's boring. But that's besides the point. I don't want to get into this right now. The point is, we should talk about the gameplay. This is a Metroidvania shooter. As with a lot of Metroidvania, the gameplay starts out static and underdeveloped, but gets gradually more complex and varied as time goes on. And when this game is running on all cylinders, it is a sensory orgasm. The difficulty is just right to empower different playstyles while still providing a challenge. Weapons are varied. All of the abilities have a place and key uses. None of them felt superfluous at all. But rock throwing is by far the best. Gunplay feels fluid. Each of the weapons have their own respective playstyles with their own upgrade trees, which helps carve out different playstyles. I chose a railgun and shotgun build. I blasted low-level enemies with the shotgun and exploited the high-level enemies with the railgun. Yes, the AI is exploitable. Many AI are. But these AI are dumb. Like, holy shit. Like, wearing underwear on their head kind of dumb. They stand out in the open, make no effort to intelligently engage the player, and their AI pathing can break when the player uses cover. No. What? Alright, you got me. Somehow. I guess I just died of a heart attack. Season 8 Tyrion, please sit down. We have found someone dumber than you. And no, it's not the writers for Game of Thrones Season 8. It is the AI from Control. The AI is special. In the way that your mother says you're special. That was uncalled for. I feel that this game also fails to deliver with enemy designs. The enemies are largely all humans, with only one truly unique geometric design, which is used sparingly. There are bosses that break the mold, but for a facility with uncanny and strange creatures, there aren't a lot of uncanny or strange creatures to fight. Look at the SCP game for some unique enemy designs, or Dark Souls. Now look at Infected Humanoid number 5 in Contraception. Control, fuck, it's Control. Combat is satisfying, but I lament that there aren't more enemy designs to vary the gameplay. And can we talk about the late game content? It reeks of last second adjustments to pad out the runtime of the game. The plant mission is perhaps, without exaggeration, without hyperbole, without comic effect, one of the worst missions in the history of gaming. You have to look around for these plants that aren't clearly indicated until you get frustrated trying to find them and then just look it up. And when you talk to each plant, Jesse repeats voice lines, reusing assets and having you backtrack over an area without doing any clear indicators of anything whatsoever. It smells of laziness and padding. Now, I may be wrong, but what I can know for sure is that these missions suck balls, and you should not do them unless you're a completionist or a masochist. Please, spare yourself. There we go.
Your chlorophyll really brings out the green in your leaves. That's all of them. I kind of wish there were more.
No, I don't. Now the story. If you love to be confused and unclear about what's going on, you will be right at home here. There's a clear narrative established. You, Jesse Faden, try to find your brother. My problem with the narrative is how many concepts it introduces in such a short span. I understand that this is personal preference. Fans of science fictions, like Dune, will cream themselves at the prospect of having to look up the science glossary to find out what superfluous Mark III is. I hate it. It's a massive word salad, and I hate salad. And words. And word salad. The projector creates the hiss, which is a result of... Oh my god. It's like reading advanced trigonometry for dummies. Just kill me. Again, different strokes for different folks. You may really enjoy that. But my opinion on the story is that I get bored by it. A more prevalent problem with the story is how the story is structured. Many of the elements of the story are presented as a mystery, including the character's past, but this makes it hard to connect with Jesse's motivations and goals. You want to see your brother, but why? What happened? What are you doing here? Why do you persist in spite of the danger? Who are you? Leaving these points unexplained makes it mysterious, but Jesse's not a mysterious character. Her entire inner monologue is explained directly to you. She'll monologue about her Twitter feed or her opinion on tortillas. She really leaves nothing to the imagination, and yet her past is an enigma. The reason for this is tied to a reticence towards the FBC, Federal Bureau of Contraception. Control. Federal Bureau of Control. She's reluctant to reveal details of her past to them because the corporation used her, and she distrusts them for it. But I don't know any of this. So for the introduction of the game, perhaps the most crucial part of any story, where key premises are established, I had no idea what was going on. And I didn't care, because the key parts of any story, like motivations, setting, characters, were left mysterious. And for a story like this, the bare essentials should at least be established, like setting, because the setting is key to the entire story. The supernatural elements and reality-bending nature are contained within this facility, meant to house the supernatural, but without this knowledge, it's just a massive WTF. You can find answers to many of the questions that you're looking for in text logs and extras. Huge exposition dumps that you can watch or not watch. But this is a lazy way to communicate key components of a story in a game. I felt disengaged. The game starts off with some rambling madness about a poster, which is quite interesting, but it doesn't establish the key reasons for me to care. There was no strong motivations, no hook, no interesting characters. Jesse is as milquetoast as they come. And so I drifted from mission to mission, apathetic to the main narrative. So, what was our plan again? We were supposed to fix the cooling pumps? I could do that, you know. I'm a pretty cool dude. Yeah. The narrative tries to create uncertainty as to who to trust. Here's a multiple choice question. Who do you trust? A. The person with a voice changer possessed by the devil who monologues at you for a straight 20 minutes, and no, that's not actually a hyperbole. Or B. Do you trust the polite, awkward folks who crack jokes and flatter you with compliments? That's a tough one. I'll give you a second. The man who is possessed by the devil, or the nice people? A or B? Put it down in the comments below. So the story gets increasingly more complex, and if I was invested, I would follow it. Overall, despite the game's flaws, I would recommend it at a reduced price on Steam. The story is a bit lackluster, and the gameplay has its flaws, only a few of them. But there are true glimmers of potential here, and I look forward to seeing what this studio produces next.